Thanks for staying with us. What we are about to talk about is painful, but it's something we cannot ignore. A woman, reportedly from Delta State, has been arrested after allegedly sexually abusing her own 3-year-old daughter. The allegations are horrifying. According to the police, the child's father discovered a video showing his daughter being abused by her mother. Today we are faced with uncomfortable questions. How can a mother, someone meant to protect and cherish a child, become its greatest danger? What does this say about societal responsibility, community safety, and the systems we rely on to protect the most vulnerable among us? As we discussed this morning, we must also ask, are we doing enough to safeguard children? When abuse happens at home, where children should feel safest, what support systems exist? And how can we prevent this heartbreaking event from happening? How can this little child be helped from not suffering from the long-term consequences of her mother's action? This story is a painful reminder that child protection is not optional. It is urgent. And I welcome your thoughts and feelings, because staying silent is not an option. My ladies, the story is depressing, but I would like our viewers to also join the conversation by calling us on 02016352013 or 09024163440, or tweet us at TVC Connect using the hashtag YourViewTVC. A depressing story. What are your thoughts?
Well, it's really heavy. Reading the story, and the story, goes into details, because she was asked at the police station to confirm the allegation against her, and based on the report, she goes into details, which confirms, based on the report, that it is true, to the point that the child has been tested for some sexually transmitted infection, and, her daughter, her own child, her own 3-year-old, and she thought it wise to, you have to be sick, I'm sorry, you have to be a terrible human being. You have to be such a wicked human being to do that to your child, to do that to your innocent 3-year-old child. Like, that's the worst thing that can happen to any human being, that the one person, your own mother, who is meant to love, protect you, betrays you in such a manner. I hate stories like this. Honestly, I hate to hear them. I hate that they ever happen. We're grateful, that the father spoke up. Because let me tell you, use this opportunity to also tell women where it happens the other way around, that keep their mouth shut. You see how men do it? They report it because it's not normal. It is terrible. And so this child should be taken away from her immediately. She should have no form of relationship with that girl, and then she should be dealt with. I mean, this is just so. I'm upset. That child will forever be, traumatized by what this woman has done to her. I don't know what sort of thing happens. I hear that the man is not married to the woman, so this is not happened in a marital home. Maybe eyes would have been on her. Probably lives on her own and is able to do that. And then, secondly, she takes a video.
Yeah.
To document it. Probably to sell it. Like, who are you? Why are you like this? Oh, please.
So, when I read the story, I was just looking for angles, where to come from, what to say, and all. So, first thing is that I think she's not okay. She's psychologically down. I don't think she's all right, because no sane woman being will do this to their own child that they gave birth to. Carry the child for 9 months, and then you give birth to that child, and then you keep I'm just wondering, I just sat down and I was just thinking, for how long has she been doing this to this child?
About 6
you
or 8
understand?
months.
Yeah, so I can just imagine now what she has done to that child and everything. But the good thing is that I like the fact that the man came out and he said something about it immediately, and he reported to the right authorities and everything. And that kind of woman, I don't think you should make her a wife. This kind of story is this kind of story that when you hear, you be like, all those women that have been crying for children, see where children should have gone to. You understand? But see this woman now, she has a child. and see the way, look at what she's doing, you know. So the good thing is that I sat and I was like, how do we rescue this child? I was just thinking of how we can. The good thing is that she's still very young, like she's just 3 years old. So hopefully it can be corrected if, you know, things are done fast to make sure that all those things she's going through and everything, you know, let her try as much as possible, forget and all. But the thing is that I don't know how, I've just been thinking of how they can rescue that child, you know, because at that age, she must have, you know, so many things. She has learned a lot of things, but it can all be reversed.
Corrected.
Yes, it can be corrected, and then she can come back normal. But she needs to be with a family that, you know, will show her love, so much love, so that she can, so that she will know that, yes,
so that she can forget.
That she can forget in the future.
Hey,
I will start by praising God that exposed this woman, because when things like this happen to children of fit parents, from their maybe family members, unsuspecting people, co-occupants of their houses, we expect it to come from maybe the maid, one cousin that is visiting, and parents are supposed to be very heartbroken by discovering that, you know, their young 3-year-old probably been molested for a very long time up until now. You know, you now be reacting to the evil of the person. But when you pay rent, who is supposed to be heartbroken if somebody were to do this to a child is the perpetrator themselves. It is beyond legal. There's no way to look at it. It is a very huge act of betrayal. And society must speak against it. I like that the father did not see the video and thought this was a family matter. They cover madness for us.
Men don't do that.
They cover them. Because our people say in our children, if you hide this private wound, now you will live with the consequences of the private matter. So well done to the father that went straight to the police to report it. And she's confessed to this, according to the police PRO of Delta State. The child was also found to have injuries around her vulva. She was also found to have an STD, a 3-year-old child, you know. And so the gender desk of the police command in Delta State, of course, which is the special desk for things like this, have taken it up. They've arrested her. I'm sure she'll be prosecuted and serve a jail term. They've already handed the child over to, you know, protective care. Most likely at the end of the matter, maybe if the father has a proper family, they will go to the father. But if the father too not stable, I beg, it's not important. Let somebody that is of a stable home, you know, get this girl. Number one is that the girl has been groomed and you know, been exposed to this very dangerous behavior. Because I don't want to give details of what happened, but when I read it, the girl has been groomed, and she'll grow up and say, "No, my sexual disposition is this way.
I identify.
You know, all of those Englishes, and that's how dangerous those identities are to society. It's just extremely heartbreaking. Proper things have been done. There's nothing we should advise to be done. It's just, you know, the evil that
what we can talk about is really how to make sure that she gets the right care, you know, psychologically. And I think that she, at that age, that a lot can be done, but we have to be deliberate and intentional about it, and it will be long term. And I have to say the sad thing for me is that I don't think Nigeria understands that level of work when, you know, that we need to do. This is beyond, you know, this needs a psychiatrist to do this. And it's not something it's not a culture that we have embraced. So, you know, I'm not saying that we don't do it. We can do a few months, but it's not a culture that we have embraced. That is not really also. It's usually like something you be forced to. After a while, we have this tendency of saying she's doing better, but this will require long term
because of our age. And so the only place I have seen the long term of psychosocial support is here. I don't know how sophisticated. The Lagos State Domestic Violence Agency used to just be a department under the Ministry of Justice. It's done so much work. It's been made an agency. They now have their own building at the CBD in Alausa, and they do a lot of work. When you go there, you see desk, long-term, you know, social support for families, and it's a lot of work. Really. It is. They are even constantly looking for funds now. Usually get tired
after a while.
But they follow through some of their clients, just a few that I have seen. So only here. what Miriam is saying is extremely important for the kind of case we have, but the facility might not be available. And because of the kind of case that she is, a long-term thing is that when change of administration, somebody will forget the file.
The file will be thrown
for
away.
her kind of case.
We have to take a short break. When we come back, we'll find a way to understand why these sort of things. Welcome back. So I'm still trying to find a way to understand why such a thing would happen, right? And I'm trying to see how we can get into the minds of people who are deviants like this, people who are not normal like this. And we also live in a society where we have two sides, where some persons believe that once you get pregnant, just have it, or you'll be committing murder if you decide to take it out. Other people believe that if you know you don't have the capacity, you know, to take care of the child, it's okay to take it out. How do we start asking the questions, which is, are you capable of taking care of this child before birthing the child? Should we educate people to understand that if you know that you are not mentally okay, you're not physically okay, you don't have the capacity to love and nurture a child, don't have the child? Should that be like a direction so that we can save? I don't understand this story and how she got pregnant. I think she's a baby mama or something. But it's also possible that she had a choice at some point. Should I keep this baby or not keep this baby? And maybe family members would have, I'm speculating here, would have said, now God, they give Peking, have this baby, when she knew she was not ready to take care of a baby. Because I'm trying to understand how a woman who is supposed to have unconditional love for a child would do this to her child. So do we start having a conversation of if you know you are not okay?
It's not a what kind of love?
There's no how you can understand this.
No, I'm saying unconditional love, which is protection, not this one, not molesting.
It's possessive kind of.
No, this is not love
kind
now.
of love.
But this is not love.
This in her, if you can't make it a subjective point, looking at it from her lens.
Yeah.
Okay.
She don't get sense.
She's a math
So yeah,
okay.
And she probably, just for this, because there's no justification for this.
For whatever,
I just I'm not in the generosity of mind to have justification for her. But let's just, for the purpose of discussion, think that maybe she was also such a victim.
It's possible.
And then she has been shamed. No customer, nothing. The day that scan show it's a female child, she feels, because people like this are not necessarily pedophiles in this kind of sexuality thing. Okay. When we look at the cases of boys who are molested, they're usually molested by men who know that they cannot go and position another man
outside.
But this small boy, nobody will know. The 4-year-old boy will not, nobody will know, kind of thing. So they look for vulnerable, innocent children. They do this too. For a mother to be able to carry on this kind of thing, the closest vulnerable person is the child at her breast.
Hi.
The child is 3-year-old. This pikin, maybe win am, no go never reach, can't be up to 2 years. If you talk about proper breastfeeding cycle, she must have been from day one.
She was
the child.
Innocent
child from day one. So she knew this. And to think that, you will see somebody like that possessive of the child, carry the child, the same way you interpret as motherly love now. So there's no way to look at it. It's just that so the wire don't cut.
Exactly.
Yeah, you're right.
I think she's psychologically not okay.
Established.
I don't even think that she must have breastfed that child, because from all I can say is, if please permit me, she's just a wicked mom. Because I just can't understand the whole thing. And right now, when Miriam said that the child needs a psychiatrist, I'm even wondering how the psychiatrist is going to be able to help that child. Because it's a child that, I don't think that child has started talking yet.
3
so
years.
You can imagine that the psychiatrist will have to use action,
They have
so many,
that can handle that.
action and all of that. A lot of things to just get that thing out of the way. I don't even know.
I don't understand the why. The only why that I can go with is what Nima has explained, which is maybe it was done to her, so she's used to it, and then she's doing it to another child. Because sadly, if nothing is done with this particular child as well, it is something that may happen with her if she goes. A cycle that continues. So I really hate, like personally, this is not even for TV. I really hate talking about issues like this. It hurts. Yeah, it hurts too much. Because I'm thinking of how I'm raising my daughter. from when she was really small, I'm already teaching her privacy, the right to her own privacy, how to keep herself safe, you know, and I cannot imagine any other person that gives birth to another. Like, I know how strongly I feel so protective of my child. And I cannot imagine that there's another child that's been born into the world and the first person to betray her is the one person that is meant to protect her. For me, this is so deep. So I don't know why. And I hope that you know, a cycle has been broken, and I just hope that this message will be going out to people all around us. If you know of anybody that may be involved in such a behavior, please speak up quickly, so that the life of that child can be saved, and so that that cycle will be broken. Because, you know, I'm not saying specifically this child, but a child who has been molested like this, you take that child, you put her amongst other children. You hear, we go to school, in daycare, and she's touching each other. Before you know, your child that you have protected and taught a certain way has learned a habit. So if it happens to one of us, it's happening to all of us. You cannot sit and watch this sort of thing happen. So we must speak up. The why, I don't understand the why.
We have a caller on the line, Temi Tokwe, Lagos, from Lagos. Good morning, Temi. Are you there? Sorry, we lost the caller. Do you know why I asked about the why, right? Everything has a reason behind it. We may not be able to justify the reason, but every perpetrator of evil, crime, they have a reason. That's at least that's the first thing that we learned when we started life coaching, right? Now, when you dig deeper, you now analyze the why and now see that, okay, your reason is either wrong or right, but there's a reason and there's a justification for whatever reason. So I like the angle that it's possible she has experienced that before. There was a story that broke sometime in America. It was a man who had 3 boys and he was molesting the boys in his house. It was strange when people heard, but you know, in that climb, some things are already accepted to understand, okay, same sex and all of that. Here we have a law against same sex something. So it's sounding strange to us that this is a woman who is molesting a girl.
I hope she gets a life sentence, because this is under our child's rights. This kind of is a strict offense. So
let me hold you, please. Temi is back so that I can hear your thoughts completely. Temi, are you there?
Yes, ma'am.
You're live, please. Go ahead.
I said, I made the mother is processed. Maybe she's into lesbianism before today. Maybe lack of man. I mean, maybe she doesn't have a serious relationship. Maybe she doesn't ask someone to have sex with her. Maybe whenever she wants, she just go into it whenever she wants. She doesn't care about the female children. She just do whatever she wants whenever she wants. She doesn't care. Let's be reality. Some women get to the stage that they will need their mind. Their mind is not there. They just want to sacrifice. They want to do something just make themselves okay. So they go extra mile, not knowing that those children are looking at them when they are doing shit. So most of the time it's because of this, because I'm a single mother of 20 years old and 4.5 years old.
Okay.
I'm a mother. I know when I come and marry, I need you. I want you to be available for me. And the man say no. Go ahead to do shit. And I'm not that kind of woman that I go around. I don't want that. I don't want to do shit. So I know what I do in me. But I'm very, very careful. So I'm sorry to say this openly because I'm a mother. Let's be reality.
Okay.
From Alaja, I hear what Alaja said. Let's just learn from what that Alaja said. And that is happening to me too because
I didn't, but did you hear the initial thing she said?
I
think she's saying
that, for some lack of sexual partners.
Yeah,
I've read cases where men will say to their wife, from now on, you sort yourself.
So she's trying to say that for women who may be single mothers,
some of their battles.
Yes, so they are unable to have intimate partners
with adults. Then you go to your child.
No, she's saying that.
Saying that.
So they find ways. But you're just trying to make a case. But like I was saying, this is a strict offense. We don't need to process our mental state of mind. Once the act is done, is enough to prosecute. But the matter for me is religious.
Okay.
When we hear the word jihad, Western media has made it seem like you have to carry gun and go to war. Your internal struggle to be a better person is what the jihad means.
Okay.
You have to
Let's
battle
understand.
those evil. You know, there's a standard. My religion also says Allah has given you the criterion, the standard to know wrong and right. If you do this with your child, it's incest, it's many things.
Too many things.
So you know that this is not
Incest,
so
forbidden,
even
taboo,
if-
everything.
Even if I'm just saying, you know, in the case of that they have touched the girl, the woman herself, you know that this
Nima,
was an abuse
please let me
to
hold you. Let's go on a short break. When we come back, we'll just find a way to wrap this up. It's really disturbing.
Yeah.
We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.